especially with the current economic climate that we are, where people are moving abroad and still got a portfolio in the UK. It is right to a certain point. You do have basic rate tax withheld, and that's 20% at the moment. I guess it's an admin charge on top of that, and I think we're talking about that. But how you've got to do it, you've got to look at 3 parts. If I can quickly break this down. First, you have to evaluate, are you actually a non-resident? Are you a non-UK tax resident? Right, so there's 2 parts to that. There's automatic tests, right, i.e. 183 days, that if you've been in the UK in that tax year. And the second one is a bit more complicated and needs advice, is something called the statutory residence test. And there's criteria, so I would recommend advice. Assuming that you are a non-UK tax resident, because from the question may not be the case if it's 50-50, right, is then you have to, the letting agent, a default position is they have to withhold. Or if you've not got a letting agent, the tenant, which hardly ever happens. But there is there's a solution, and we love giving value, don't we, John, on this show?
We do.
So the value is the 2 ways of actually minimizing and making sure that you still get the gross rent. And the way you do it is either, first of all, you fill in something called a NRL 1I form, bit technical, and that helps you report it on a self-assessment. Therefore, you get gross. You do need to have some advice whether you apply to that. Another way is, if you still get a personal allowance, and that's quite a complex subject in itself, is that you can apply and get something called an R43. So there's another form. If you do that, and then HMRC won't withhold or ask you to get tax withhold at source.